as long as there have been events, people have had ideas about those events outside of the general consensus. Here are 15 of the craziest conspiracy theories. Please note that this video and its contents are not the opinion of Curious Tens. 15. Life on Mars and the Annunaki. Since the Viking orbiter took photographs of the surface of Mars in 1976, people have been convinced that the planet actually does contain life. There were strange photos illustrating a massive face gazing up from its surface. Other elements, such as a 5-sided pyramid and a sphinx, were also included in the pictures. Zechariah Sitchkin uncovered research that told of tablets in Sumeria, now modern-day Iraq, describing the Annunaki, a superior alien race that travelled down to teach new technology to the Sumerians. It has been speculated by many that these aliens were the ones who built the formations on the surface of Mars, and this led to the idea of people who claimed that the aliens also built the Great Pyramids in Egypt, and that they used human beings as their slave workers. 14. Vaccination and Autism. For years, there has been talk about vaccinations causing autism. This theory has some famous backers, with Jenny McCarthy and Robert Kennedy Jr. voicing their fears that the vaccine industry hides the truth about what is contained in the shots and the side effects that they cause. 13. Roswell. In 1947, news reports surfaced that spoke of a flying disc that had crash-landed in Roswell, New Mexico. There were also rumours that bodies had been found at the crash site. The military stated that the wreckage was simply that of a weather balloon and that the bodies were simply test dummies. Conspiracy theorists say that an alien craft did actually crash and that the US government is hiding the evidence. They point to the secrecy surrounding Area 51 as evidence. 12. Digital television and subliminal advertising. Advertising is a big business, and some think that it goes further than just showing you the latest products. Some people believe that televisions contain hidden microphones and cameras, and that the government use these to spy on people. Another theory is that subliminal messages are received through television sets that influence the thinking of the general population. 11. Global warming. Ever since Al Gore brought the topic of global warming to the world stage, the subject has attracted much debate. Some scientists back the theory, whilst others staunchly deny that anything out of the ordinary is taking place. Some conspiracy theorists believe that global warming is a ploy by global governments to influence the population's way of life. This may be used to raise taxes and lead to more controlling governments and stricter living conditions. 10. Shakespeare's plays. Although his plays are famous the world over, there is little historical information about William Shakespeare. Some conspiracy theorists believe that the plays were not written by Shakespeare himself. He was simply a front to conceal the identity of the real author. People point to the fact that Shakespeare could not have had the necessary education needed to write such amazing work. 9. The Shroud of Turin. The Shroud of Turin is said to be the cloth that covered the body of Jesus Christ and shows his image. There is much controversy surrounding the shroud and its authenticity. In 1988, the shroud was carbon dated and was found to date from the medieval period. Conspiracy theorists say that the Vatican tampered with the carbon dating results to protect the Catholic faith. 8. The AIDS virus. Conspiracy theorists claim that the AIDS virus did not originate in Africa as scientists discovered, but was in fact created in a laboratory in the USA by the CIA. They believe that the virus was injected into homosexuals and African Americans under cover of a hepatitis B experiment. This was done in order to rid America of homosexuals and to lessen the numbers of African Americans. 7. The death of Princess Diana. Ever since Princess Diana died in a car crash in a tunnel in Paris, conspiracy theories have raged. Some claim that Diana was murdered to stop her revealing embarrassing information about her ex-husband, Prince Charles. In 2013, Scotland Yard announced that it was reopening the case to investigate whether claims that the crash was orchestrated by British Special Forces were true. Both the British and French governments have ruled that Diana's death was an accident. However, many theorists remain adamant that she was murdered, and the debate continues. 6. The New World Order. Some people believe that there is a secretive organisation of elite individuals who form together to influence events that will culminate in them eventually ruling the world. Theorists point to several world events that they say have been engineered by a group they call the Illuminati, that they say will lead to the New World Order. People say that the goal of the New World Order is to reduce the population of the world to 500 million and to have a single global government. 5. The Moon Landing. Ever since the iconic images of Neil Armstrong walking on the moon were shown on TV screens all over the world, people have been saying that the images were faked. Conspiracy theorists say that the landing was staged because America needed to beat Russia in the space race. Many believe that the technology needed to land on the moon and to return the astronauts safely to Earth simply did not exist in the 1960s. 4. The Holocaust. Unbelievably, there are many conspiracy theorists out there who believe that the Holocaust was faked. They say that 6 million Jews were not murdered, and that the Jews who did die did so as a result of illness or starvation, and not due to the Nazi policy to exterminate the Jews. People who believe this say that the Holocaust was conspired by the Jews to advance their own interests and to justify the creation of Israel. They also believe that the diary of Anne Frank was a forgery. 3. 9/11. Although terrorists have claimed responsibility for the attacks on the World Trade Center that occurred on September the 11th, 2001, some people believe that the entire event was orchestrated by the American government. Conspiracy theorists point to the way in which the towers collapsed as evidence that explosives were planted in the building to aid their destruction. They say that the event was planned to fuel hatred and to justify the war on terror. 2. The JFK Assassination. On November the 22nd, 1963, President John F. Kennedy was assassinated in Dallas, Texas. A man called Lee Harvey Oswald was arrested and charged with the assassination, only to be killed before he could stand trial. Conspiracy theorists say that there was more than one shooter, and that Lee Harvey Oswald was not responsible for the killing. He was simply used as a scapegoat to cover up the CIA-backed plot. To this day, the debate over the killing of JFK continues. 1. Jesus and Mary Magdalene. Over the years, many people have speculated whether Jesus was married to a woman named Mary Magdalene. Brought to the big screen in the film The Da Vinci Code, the theory originates from a document found in 1945 called the Gospel of Philip. This Gnostic Gospel reports that Jesus had preferred the company of Mary over any other disciple, also that he had kissed her on the mouth. Conspiracy theorists believe that Jesus was indeed married, and that he may have even had a child, which means that his bloodline could even still exist today. That brings this episode of Curious Tens to a close. Please feel free to leave your comments and subscribe.